Hi there, my crafty friends. My name is Letitia Pfinder, and welcome to my channel for another Follow Along Friday card tutorial. Today we'll be making this beautiful, simple card. For it, you'll need a base, and I'm just using a pre-folded card base that I got at the dollar store. I actually picked it up because I just thought this was a really beautiful color. You also need a mat to go on top. And I just used, sorry about that, I just used some white cardstock and cut it down so that it was just slightly smaller, about 1/4 of an inch smaller than the card base. You also need 3 colors of washi, or you can modify it to suit whatever you're doing. I have a shimmery gold. I wonder if it'll stay. No, okay. A matte purple and a mint and gold foil washi. You'll also need a sentiment, and I've already prepared mine. It's kind of hard to see. I just heat embossed this. I went over it with I made the sentiment, sorry, using my Martha Stewart letter stamps. It's really shimmery, so the light makes it a little hard to see with the camera. And then all I did was put it on some thicker paper, also by Martha Stewart. And I've already put some adhesive on the back of it. Just so you know what I've already done there. You also need a backing for that, and this is just some scrap purple cardstock that I have. You need some sort of string. I'm using embroidery thread, just because it's a thicker thread, so it's easier to use, because we will be tying a little bow. You could also use something like ribbon, or twine, or whatever. You need some sort of adhesive. I'm using double-sided tape. And some scissors. And I actually found my craft scissors for a change. Look at that. Okay. So let's get started. I'm just going to start by putting the card base to the side, because we always work on the actual decorative part of the card first, just in case we mess up. You know, it happens. And this is the part where you're going to want to go ahead and make your sentiment. And now you can hand letter it if you have maybe a different sentiment you want to use. You could do that, that you have that's a pre-stamp. I put these letters together using Martha Stewart's little letter thing, little letter stamps. And but yeah, you can make this card whatever you want. I did Thinking of You because I have somebody in mind for this. But you can do whatever you want. This would make a great birthday card. Actually, I think even a Christmas card, if you maybe wanted to change up the colors a little bit. But yeah, so right now, that's what you do. And I'm going to just cut it out, basically. So I've put adhesive on the back of it, and I'm going to turn it into a little flag, like that. And to do that, all you have to do, I gotta trim it down just a tiny bit first. And then you're just cutting a triangle out. So you're just cutting diagonally from either side. So it's a good thing I found my craft scissors. Alright, there you go. See? And I have a little flag. Now, I matted my flag on the first card. And to do that, all I did was put the adhesive on the back. And then I'm just going to stick it right on to my mat. I'm just going to go ahead and pop it down there. You don't have to be too careful about where you put it because you're cutting it down to size. And then I just roughly, I said that really weird, roughly cut it. So that it made a good mat. I found this was really easy to eyeball. When I was doing the actual flag that has the sentiment on it, I was more careful with it. You know, I used a ruler to make sure that my lines were straight. You can just use one of your paper cutters as well, but mine needs to be, the blade needs to be changed on it. And I'm not quite sure where I put those at the moment, so an X-Acto knife and a ruler was kind of my best bet, and it actually worked really, really well. So there's an option for you if you don't have one of those paper cutters. So there you go. See, that's all I did, and now it's already stuck on there for you. So I'm just going to stick that up there for now, or put it up there for now. And we're going to move on to our washi tape. Now, I did this in a specific order to get a layered effect. So you can see some of the washi is kind of on top of each other, some of it is under. And what I did was put this mint color down first, then the gold on top, then the purple, and then the mint again. Just so you kind of have an idea of what I'm doing right here. And honestly, I mean, you really don't even need me to walk you through this. It's just really easy. So all I've done is I'm using these squares to kind of line up where I want this, but I know I want it not halfway. You want it more towards about a quarter of the way, I guess. And I just place it down, stick it on. And I used these as a guide to make sure that they were straight. And I am letting it hang over the edge, because once we're done, I'm going to tuck it under so that you don't get any of it peeling up later, just to make sure that your part is stable. Alright, I'm going to go in with my gold. If I can find the end to it. There it is. Again, I know I want it about here. And I'm just using those lines as a guide. It's just a helpful trick if you have one of these mats. If not, you can use a ruler if you like. You can just eyeball it. That's kind of easy to eyeball when you're using something that's already straight like the washi. Alright, and I'm just going to go in with my purple. And the purple I'm not placing side by side, it actually does go on top of this, of the mint, covering a bit of it. It's just a part of the charm to this card. Alright. I'm just eyeballing this one. About there. See, it's really simple to eyeball. There we go. And I'm just rubbing it down to make sure it's sticking well. Right. And then I already have a strip cut smaller. I just cut it halfway just to give it a little bit of variation, which is also why I'm layering them. And I'm just placing it slightly over the gold and then pressing it down. Alright. Carefully peel them up. Alright, so now all I'm doing is just tucking them under so that there's no chance later on that the washi will peel up, because if you cut it on the edge there, there's a chance it'll peel. And you want your cards to be well made, right? You don't want somebody to get it in the mail and have it be falling apart. That's not nice. Alright, there we go. Now, all I'm going to do is get my string. Oh, drop my string. There we go. And I don't have this cut to any particular length, just because this was kind of the end of this little roll of it, so I just grabbed what was left. I can trim it. So I'm not tying it into the middle. I want to tie it more towards the top, because you want to bring the eye up here a little bit more, because there is a lot of white space. Just having something more visually interesting up here will help a bit. And also your sentiment goes in the middle here, so it's kind of too busy in the middle there if you stick it there. Alright, all I'm doing is just tying a little knot. Now if you like, at this point, once you've tied the knot, you can put a little glue, a little dab of glue right there, and let it dry for a moment, and that makes the bow stable, but it makes it especially stable while you're trying to tie the bow. So I just do this the way I tie my shoelaces. So I've just made a loop and I'm just going through and then through the middle, over and through the middle, and then just pulling it. And then when you do it like this, you still have a little bit of give to pull on the strings and make them the length that you want, so you can get it just right. And I'm just going to play with that for a moment. Just tighten it. And I'm just going to trim the excess string off. There we go. Okay, and I just got to stick some tape or some double-sided tape on the back of this, or whatever adhesive you're using. See how that kind of peeled off right there? That's what you don't want to have. But that's why I've tucked them under, because when we tape them, then when we tape it onto the back of the card, it's not going to be a problem. Alright, so I obviously put a lot on here, and I'm just going to trim it off. So that's a good tip if you're using double-sided tape. You can just put it on and then cut it so that it covers these little corners, because you don't want them to curl up, especially since they're going to be placed over the string. Which can mess with them a little bit. Oh, and in case you're wondering, to do the sentiment, I just used some Versamark ink, and I heat embossed it using Recollections sparkle embossing powder, and this is clear gold. It's a really beautiful, beautiful powder. Works very well. It's got some sparkle in it. If the sparkle wasn't in it, it would almost look foiled, and it does still, but you know it's not once you see the sparkle. but it still looks beautiful. I really love this powder. All right. Gonna go ahead and stick that on now. Oh, there we go. Oh, the adhesive keeps getting stuck to my finger on that one spot. Okay. And basically what I'm doing is I'm just kind of centering it between the mint and the purple washi. And lining it up with this edge. There we go. I'm placing it down. So that way it's framed and you get the best of both worlds, both sides of the washi. And there we go. So now we just stick it on to our card base. And while I'm putting the double-sided adhesive on the back, I will be putting it over the string. If you're not using double-sided adhesive, it might be a good idea to just put a few dabs of glue on the back of it, just so the string stays in place, so it doesn't move around and ruin your sentiment. And I'm also putting it over the folded washi, just for extra security. Because I'm pretty sure all of this washi I got at the dollar store, and sometimes it doesn't stick wonderfully. It's another reason why I like to double it over the edges. So. There we go. Also put a little bit in this corner. It's a little too much. There we go. All right, now we just stick it on. I love this glue, or this adhesive, so much, but I hate the cleanup. I'm peeling off all the backings on it, off of it, I guess. Alright, so now I'm just centering it. You can see. And placing it down. And there you have it. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more from me, click that subscribe button below, and you'll be notified when I post a new video. I post a video every Friday. Don't be shy, you can follow and talk to me on social media. My usernames are in the description box below. If you make anything using one of my tutorials, I would love to see it. Be sure to share them with me. I hope you have a lovely day, and until next time, my crafty friends.